Hey guys, Sen here. With how many different troops we have access to in the clan capital and how many different ways we can combine all the troops, it feels like we have an infinite number of different ways we can approach all the different styles of bases. But among these different armies, there are some that stand out as being absolutely terrible and unviable. I mean, who is using mass rams that don't do too much damage to buildings to try to take out everything inside of a district? Or who is stupid enough to use something as silly and absolutely terrible as mass manis? Or hold on, I do know someone who is just that stupid and just that crazy, and let's take a quick look at what he's doing. This is Death Star. He is a well-known degenerate at the very top of Clan Capital who is well known for using mass minions against maxed out barbarian camps, and not just barb camps in the raid weekends, but he also uses them in tournaments as well, absolutely humiliating base builders with 2 shots versus their barb camps while using 15 plus minions. This man is absolutely crazy out of his mind. A jump spell up the left hand side as well as some barrels to try to go in to take out the air defense as well as a spear thrower. A bomb blows up his Larry, so he needs to send in his second barrel to go in to finish off the air defense and sneak in some more manis to clear this bottom hand side trash. That way he'll have a funnel set to send his manis up the left hand side of the base. No one else seems to be able to make mass manis work in the raid weekend, but this man can, and let's see exactly how this works. Now, graveyards to go in behind the air bombs because he needs a steady trickle of Larrys set to air to try to overwhelm those air bombs and sneak his minions inside, because those minions, they're gonna get one shot by splash if you're not careful, just like those ones that just did. It was just a small pack, so not a big deal. A rocket balloon to go in, sneak in while all those Larrys are distracting the air defense to go in after the air bombs, take that thing out. A dragon up the far left hand side of the base while those minions as well as those Larrys are distracting all of those air targeting defenses. One more rocket balloon left in the deployment bar that he'll use to snipe this air defense over here, but you can see that rocket artillery is going to lock onto those minions, and bam, an entire army of minions are all going to go down. His dragon is still alive, which is why he uses the dragon as a bit of insurance in case things go really wrong, as well as help try to push into any air splash defenses. It's not going to have enough HP to finish off the spear thrower or even the rocket artillery, but he's cleared a chunk of the base, and there's still too much splash defenses like those 2 rocket artilleries as well as those 2 air bombs, so he's probably not going to go in with minions if he was a sane human being. But this man is Death Star and he does what he wants. 15 more minions, a graveyard to distract all of those air defenses in the middle, and then 2 graveyards to pinata on top of this right hand side rocket artillery, barrels to distract those rocket artillery on the dragon's approach, minions on the bottom hand side while there was just a bunch of ground defenses, a swarm of manis up the right-hand side to overwhelm all those single target defenses as well, generate Larrys to distract all of those defenses. One more rocket balloon while this final air bombs is distracted. The dragon burns down this left side air bombs, and the right-hand side pinata is successful, overwhelming the rapid rocket air defenses and all those defenses, and there is just a huge swarm of Larrys, of manis, all in the air, flying towards those last few defenses on the base. You just have to navigate all the splash defenses and try to take out all of those threats to your manis, and then you're safe to swarm the rest of the base. And you might be wondering what happens if there are bombs set to air. Well, you're probably gonna 3-shot in that case, so just pray that there's nothing set to air and you can get 2 shots versus max barb camps like the Giga Chad Death Star. Now, this next attack is absolutely wild. It's against a maxed out Legends clan, a maxed out Barbarian camp with a really good layout. You might be wondering what all these walls are doing here for. They're kind of wasted, and the idea is that you don't really want to enclose your buildings in the clan capital behind walls because the ramps are so powerful. They will one-shot the walls anyways, and then if they go inside the base, they'll distract all the defenses with all the HP and the barbs inside of it. So you put those walls away from your defenses, away from where the ramps are going to go, and that way your defenses will shoot at the troops that are trying to approach instead. So there's also this section of walls on the right hand side that's to make it so that you can't use a ram to target this wall because there's no buildings behind, and you can only try to enter from the front hand side where all the defenses are pointing. But he will try to work his way around, Death Star that is, with a jump spell and then some ramps to open up the wall, and he can get a nice flank against all those defenses. And you can start to see the idea here. There's not too much air splash covering the left hand side, actually none, and so he'll use a swarm of minions over there, graveyards to distract the air bombs, those rocket artilleries on his approach, And as his minions start dying off, he'll get a nice trickle of Larrys coming from those graveyard spells, those barrels to tank for the dragon on the approach, and dragon to fly in towards the air splashes, a swarm of manis. There are some air traps that actually pop and kill some of his minions, but he's fine because his huge swarm is still alive. Some minions up the right hand side to collapse the Tesla as well as the air defenses as well. A rocket balloon to help collapse the air defense and try to push his way in towards the rocket artillery, because those splash defenses are so threatening. That huge dragon splash on top of that rapid rocket will finish off the rocket artillery. The air bombs is shooting at lone straggling minions and then gets distracted by the dragon perfectly so his minions can stay alive, tank the air defenses, and keep that dragon alive for even longer. Those minions up the right hand side also get cooked by another air trap, and at this point this man is in trouble because there are so many air traps on this base as well, because air is very common to go in against barb camps. So I'm assuming that the base builder decided we're going to try to stop rocket balloons and other air strategies, but it also hits minions as well, and this is why Death Star comes in with a different finisher. Now, this man is also known for going in with mass P.E.K.K.A. and mass Barbarian strategies. Don't ask me why he does this. This man is crazy out of his mind. Jump spell on the bottom him side to get him over any walls. He doesn't have like any rams to get into closed compartments on this base, so he's gonna rely on the jump spells to push his way through. 4 P.E.K.K.A.s on the map. He'll spread them out to try to get a nice amount of DPS everywhere around. Those barbs will help distract the defenses, allow his P.E.K.K.A.s to one-shot the defenses as well, because they'll provide some chip damage to get those buildings within one-shot range. Graveyards on top of the multi-mortars to distract all the defenses on the backhand side away from the bomb towers, so they'll more effectively tank this rocket artillery on his P.E.K.K.A.'s approach. So many Larrys are now swarming, a barb as well as a bunch of Larrys to take out that giant cannon. There's just a rocket artillery as well as a bomb tower on the backhand side when it comes to splash. His Larrys are starting to peter out. The mortar will finish off a good chunk of them, but he's done a great job at distracting all those defenses for his P.E.K.K.A.s to stay alive. One more ram in his tank. He had one for the right-hand side giant cannon and then one for this last multi-cannon back here. His third P.E.K.K.A. goes down, but he's got 2 left that finally sneak into that dead zone of the rocket artillery. One more shell from the multi-cannon finishes off one of them, but the other one has just enough HP to finish off the multi-cannon, move in towards the last rapid rocket, break through the wall, and take the last defense on this base out. Sometimes when you go in with minions, maybe you should try to think of a different way to finish things off when there are a ton of air traps. And now that we have acquired the necessary knowledge to make mass manis work, let's see if we can do it ourselves against this barbarian camp. Now this looks like the perfect target for mass mani because there's a lot of defenses on the outside that are away from splash coverage, at least air splash coverage, with the air bombs and the rocket artillery pushed really far back. There's an exposed air bombs on the right hand side that can try to snipe with the dragon, and we can just try to work our way slowly in with the graveyards to distract the air bombs on the left hand side as well as the rocket artillery, and then we can also frost them both to slow them down and make it more manageable for my minions to help push in. So here is the plan. We'll go in with the dragon up the right, the minions up the left, and we'll try to push in as far as we can. This isn't a completely maxed out barbarian camp. I'm not ready to try that just yet. And just before we go, please no air traps, please no air traps, please no air traps, and we are set. Let's go in. We have a couple rams to break ourselves further into the base and open up the map for deployment. A frost spell we can drop at the very start so we don't end up forgetting. Then we can start in with our dragon because there's no air defenses in range. We can just set it down and let it grab some splash and work its way inside, and then before it gets in range of the air bombs, now we'll slowly tank with some barrels and just make sure that that dragon is well protected on its approach. It's actually flying towards the multi-mortar, which was a little unexpected, and going towards the air bombs a lot faster than I was expecting. Some minions to now tank the rapid rocket as my dragon flies towards. Some more minions to spam in. Well, not spam, but surgically deploy and strategically go in. The minions up the right hand side are distracting for the dragon, but the dragon will quickly go down soon. It has done its job though by killing that air bombs off. So maybe you can also grab the air defense, please. Yep, it's a level 4 air defense, so just enough. Now we drop down a graveyard to try to distract all those defenses. And as my minions start slowly pushing their way through, it looks like that Rapid Rocket is going to win the interaction against those small packs of minions. So we'll drop down the Rocket Balloon to try to assist. A Rocket Balloon tries to snipe the air bombs before, ooh, it grabs some of my minions as well, but a bunch of air Larrys are distracting from my Rocket Balloons to maybe sneak in and grab that Rocket Artillery, maybe? 2 shots? Can I get another one for the air bombs? Yes, but it doesn't do quite enough damage. My minions on the left-hand side are also petering out. The Tesla farm actually pops because we reached 52%, so not too shabby on this very first hit. There's still a Rocket Artillery on the back side as well as an air bombs. Maybe we can frost that again and come in with some more manis. And now we are back in, and we're coming in with a very similar approach. Because the Teslas have popped, now I can adjust my Frost to try to cover as many of those as possible. I will try to drop my Frost spell, maybe like this. Does that cover everything? Yep, perfect. 3 Teslas, Rocket Artillery, air bombs, as well as the Rapid Rockets are super nasty. We'll drop the Dragon from the far right-hand side and Inferno Dragon to go in while the Spear Thrower gets a little bit distracted, like that. And try to funnel the Dragon towards the right and slowly work our way in towards all of the threats inside of the base. So now we'll drop down a barrel to help distract all those defenses on the approach, split a little bit, now some minions to get the graveyards going, a Rocket Balloon to sneak in towards the Rocket Artillery, 1 graveyard on top to distract the Teslas and all those defenses in the middle. The Rapid Rocket does shoot down my troops pretty fast, so that's a bit of a problem, but we'll start to now work in with our minions. Oh, the enemy giants are kind of annoying, and we'll lose a lot of minions there, ouch! We'll use the Rocket Balloon to snipe the air defense that's shooting at my dragon. We did get a lot of graveyard Larrys going, and we have a huge swarm trying to push its way in. Can it get that air bombs, please? The Pinata actually kills the Rocket Artillery. The air bombs goes down. Rapid Rocket is soon to follow. The dragons are still alive on the right-hand side. I don't know what I just did, but I think we have pulled off a Barb Camp 2-shot with mass minions. The Death Star strategy is OP, I'm telling you, boys. And let's see if we can do it again. And now let's try against one more Barbarian Camp. The Mani Swarm attack will change 1 Barb for 1 more Ram, and we are good to go. And let's go in with some minions this time on the approach where there's no air defenses. This Barbarian Camp is also closer to max than the last one. It's a really legit layout, and we'll start off with a couple packs of minions to try to work their way towards the left-hand side. Nothing's shooting at them for now. We'll use some rams to open up the map closer into the base, and we'll use a jump to open up the map even further. Some rams to go in like so. It'll also provide a little bit of distraction against that Spear Thrower, hopefully, as my minions start pushing their way inside. Tons of minions now. Just try to overwhelm these giants before we drop down our graveyards. A dragon now to go in to help support over there. And all of my minions are grouped up, which is a bit of a problem, but before we start getting in range of any threats, we'll use the graveyards to try to distract all of them on the approach. Was there a bomb that killed a bunch of manis? Maybe there were. But we'll drop down the rest of our troops up there to try to go in. They do get distracted by those giants, and a lot of them get blown up. 2 Rocket Balloons to try to sneak in for the left side air bombs while those Larrys are still kicking. The right dragon does need to push in towards the air bombs. Yes, it does take out so much value over there. The left Rocket Balloons do make it finally. Dragon locks on the bomb tower, will splash the Rocket Artillery, will not have enough HP to finish it off, but we have pushed in so far into the base with the Mani Swarm. And let's head back in. So the clan I'm currently in does not have a maxed out Frost spell, but the level 3 will do as long as we're just a tiny bit more careful. Make sure we don't screw things up. I think we can hit both the air bombs and the Spear Thrower even with this level, so we'll drop it like this. Okay, we can hit them both. And then a ram to open up the wall ahead. We'll let those barbs die out, get some graveyard skeletons that will die as well. And now it's time to go. 1 graveyard behind the air bombs and the Rocket Artillery to help distract all those defenses as my troops approach. Some barrels to go in, or first we'll start on with the barb to try to tank for the Spear Thrower a bunch of manis down south. And then we'll do a barrel to tank for the dragon to sneak in, some more barrels to tank as my troops start dying off. One more graveyard to help distract on the approach. And there are some giants that will distract my manis in the middle, but hopefully we can try to keep the dragon alive. No! The dragon gets sniped by the... Oh, that hurts. But the rocket balloons, it needs to try to push in towards the air bombs. The graveyard has run out. Rocket balloons, you're my only hope. The air bombs one-shots those rocket balloons. Some manis get lost. We have to push in towards that air bomb. So many manis still towards the left-hand side. Grab the air bombs! Grab the air bombs! Grab it! Take it down! Yes, the loon tanks for just a little bit. The air bombs goes down. Manis are trying to work through the spear thrower on the left-hand side. A swarm of Larrys are approaching from the right. Spear thrower does go down. There's one last air defense. Get to the air defense. Get to the air defense. No, please, no air traps, please. I beg you, no air traps. Go down, go down. That's the last defense. 99% cannons, the last building, and we got it. Barbarian Camp, the best attack strategy in the game. The mass Mani Swarm. Death Star was right all along. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You may or may not want to try out this strategy in your own raid weekends against Barbarian Camps, depending on whether or not you want to be forcibly removed from your clan. But on a serious note, you actually can use this so long as you pray hard enough that there are no air traps, because Barb Camps does have limited air splash, and those minions can absolutely power through the base if you plan accordingly around the few air splashes that it does have. But like and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video, and make sure you join the Clan Capital Discord server down in the description below if you have not already, and take care.